Jake Paul fights Julio César Chávez Jr. And what happens to this guy after making a bag? The man gets arrested by ICE.
What the fuck is that?
Mexican boxer Julio César Chávez Jr. arrested by ICE for deportation, federal officials say. Now, this story is deeper than just, you might think, oh man, of course, ICE has been going crazy with this whole deportation. I mean, it's been really it's been crazy. All right. So you might think, damn, was this guy undocumented immigrant in the country and is out here having boxing fights? But it's deeper than that, guys. It's deeper than that. We'll get into it. Former Mexican boxer Julio César Chávez Jr. has been arrested for overstaying his visa and lying on a green card application and will be deported to Mexico, where he faces organized crime charges. Bruh. Organized crime charges, U.S. federal officials say on Thursday. So it's not just that he overstayed his visa, right? The man is actually facing organized crime charges. Crazy shit. I think it's linked to the cartel, but we'll get into it. The arrest came only days after the former middleweight champion lost a match against influencer turned boxer Jake Paul in Anaheim, California. The Department of Homeland Security said officials determined Chavez should be arrested on June 27, a day before the fight. So apparently they were planning to arrest this guy before the fight even happened, right? But for some reason, I guess they were like, hey, let him have his last fight, I guess. Let him do his last thing. We can get him after it. It's not going to disappear. It's not going anywhere. He's been here anyways. But it was unclear why they waited to act for days after the high profile event. So in my opinion, they were like, you know what, let's just see how it plays out. Because at the end of the day, it would have been funnier if he actually won that fight and then they deported him. But he lost and then got deported. But yeah, it's so weird that they waited. I'm not gonna lie, that is weird. But I feel like they were just like, let's just see how the fight plays out. They probably watched the fight as well, and they were pissed about how it was, and it encouraged them more. The boxer was riding a scooter when agents detained him. The 39-year-old boxer, according to his attorney, Michael Goldstein, was picked up Wednesday by a large number of federal agents while he was riding a scooter in front of a home where he resides in upscale Los Angeles neighborhood of a studio near Hollywood. The current allegations are outrageous and simply another headline to terrorize the community, Goldstein said. So his lawyer is pretty much saying, man, these are some bogus charges, man. These are ridiculous. They're outrageous. Many people across Southern California are on edge as immigration arrests have ramped up, promoting protests as the federal deployment of National Guard troops and U.S. Marines to downtown Los Angeles. Goldstein did not know where Chavez was being detained as of Thursday morning, but said he and his client were due in court Monday in connection with prior gun possession charges. So this man, Chavez Jr., has had prior gun possession charges, which kind of makes sense with what they're accusing him of now. By the way, guys, they're accusing him of being connected to the cartel.
What the fuck is that?
Crazy shit. That's what they're accusing him of being. It gets deeper. Very popular cartel. I think the Sinaloa cartel, which is El Chapo's freaking cartel. Like crazy shit. And the allegations are wild. Like, bruh, it's absolutely crazy. It's not even like wild shit. But let's go ahead and watch this clip real quick, see if he has any information. But we'll get into the details of exactly what they're charging him for, which, like I said, is fucking crazy.
Famed Mexican boxer Julio César Chávez Jr. has been arrested for overstaying his visa and lying on a green card application and will be deported to Mexico, U.S. federal officials say. Officials also say he has an active arrest warrant in Mexico for his involvement in organized crime and trafficking firearms, ammunition, and explosives. The arrest comes days after the former middleweight champion lost a match against influencer-turned-boxer Jake Paul. The Department of Homeland Security said officials determined Chavez should have been arrested a day before the fight. It's unclear why they waited to act. According to Chavez's attorney, the 39-year-old boxer was picked up Wednesday by federal agents while he was riding a scooter in front of his home in Studio City, California. His attorney called the allegations outrageous and simply another headline to terrorize the community. Many people across Southern California are on edge as immigration arrests have ramped up, prompting protest and the federal deployment of National Guard troops and U.S. Marines to downtown Los Angeles.
All right, crazy shit. Chavez family issued a statement Thursday afternoon in support of him. The Los Angeles Times reported, we have full confidence in his innocence. The statement said, of course they would say that. We firmly believe that the proper course is to allow the competent authorities to carry out their work without external pressure or speculation. Crazy shit, bruv. Some crazy shit. Before his recent bout, Chavez fought once in 2021. Before his bout with Paul on Saturday, Chavez fought once in 2021, having fallen to innumerable lows during a lengthy boxing career conducted in the shadow of his father. Julio César Chávez, one of the most beloved athletes in Mexican boxing history. Like I said, his father is a legend, a Mexican legend, but him, not so much. A member of the International Boxing Hall of Fame who won championships in several weight classes. The son, who has battled drug addiction for much of his career, has been arrested repeatedly. In 2012, he was convicted of drunk driving in LA and sentenced to 13 days in jail. And in January 2024, he was arrested on gun charges. Police said he possessed 2 AR-style Ghost rifles. He was later freed on a $50,000 bond, and on condition he went to a residential drug treatment facility. The case is still pending, so he currently still has a case, which is what we went over earlier. He had gun charges, and this man was still out here boxing, which is crazy. He split his time between both countries. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers detained Chavez for overstaying a tourist visa that he entered the U.S. with in August 2023 and expired in February 2024, the Department of Homeland Security says. Now, I believe I know what Ghost rifles are, but let's check it out real quick. The term Ghost rifle derived from the fact that these firearms are unserialized, difficult to trace, and often remain invincible to the tracking and regulation covering traditionally manufactured firearms, a wide range of homemade improvised firearms. So pretty much a Ghost rifle is not just unregistered, but you take out the serial, you're pretty much hiding. Bro, if you have a ghost gun, it's some shady shit. It's not for self-defense, right? It's for criminal activity, because you don't want any type of tracking. Like, think about it. If you have a weapon and you know you're just getting this for self-defense, you would want it registered, right? You would want it under your name so it can be recorded that you did everything legally. That can be the hookup for, God forbid, whenever you're in a situation and you have to use it, right? But if you're going out of your way to have a ghost weapon, it can only be for bad shit, right? But let's get into the craziest part of this. The agency also said Chavez submitted multiple fraudulent statements when he applied for permanent residency on April 2nd, 2024, based on his marriage to a U.S. citizen, Frida Munoz. She is the mother of a granddaughter of imprisoned Sinaloa cartel kingpin Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. That's it. That's the connection. Crazy shit. So he's connected. So he has family ties, like literally, to El Chapo. The man is in the family of the cartel. So that's where the connection starts to make a little sense. The guy has been arrested on gun charges. They're charging him for distributing illegal guns and freaking what they like grenades and stuff, like the explosives, not just guns, which is fucking crazy, right? Like,
What
that's
the fuck
wild.
is that?
That's wild. US officials said he is believed to be an affiliate of the powerful Sinaloa cartel that is blamed for a significant portion of Mexico's drug violence. So it's not just me making these two and two connections. That is what they believe. I mean, at the end of the day, the guy is a alleged criminal. Not really alleged, because he was convicted of drunk driving, and he currently has a illegal firearm charge going on. At the same time, Dan overstayed his freaking travel visa in the United States and getting on the freaking fight card with Jake Paul. I mean, how many terrible decisions can you make? But anyways, this man put the target on his back. It's bad enough that he wasn't supposed to be here when he was here, but then he takes a big fight with like the most famous freaking boxer influencer guy, Jake Paul. It's like, bro, what? Especially if he's really part of the cartel, right? If he's affiliated to the cartel, like, why would you be doing stuff like that? That makes no sense. Makes no sense.
What the fuck is that?
But yeah, they allege that he's affiliated to El Chapo, the Sinaloa cartel. He's in the family of El Chapo, so that's not an alleged claim. That is what it is. But combine that with his activities, bruh. It's not a far-fetched allegation. Federal officials call Chavez a public safety threat. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services flagged Immigration and Customs Enforcement about Chavez on December 17, saying he is an egregious public safety threat, and yet he was allowed back into the country without a visa on January 4th under the Biden administration. Oh, come on, man. Mexico's Attorney General office said that an arrest warrant against Julio Chavez was issued in Mexico in March 2023 in an investigation of organized crime and arms trafficking allegations. And that Mexico on Thursday initiated extradition proceedings. So he's not only dealing with a case in the United States, he's also dealing with a case in Mexico, which is more extreme. That's where the trafficking allegations come from, right? The organized crime and arms trafficking allegations is from Mexico. The gun charge, drunk driving, and all that other stuff is from the US. So putting that together, like, you could see how this is just a terrible case for this guy. A federal agent, because when he goes, he's deported back to Mexico, right? It's not like they're just sending him home and that's it. He has to deal with the charges he's facing there. Extradition. Which is like, wait, why are you fighting Jake Paul when you're dealing with charges from the US, you're dealing with charges from Mexico, and you're getting on a big fight card? Like, bruh, what? Maybe this was like his last get the bag move. He knew shit was crumbling down anyways, and he was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna get the biggest bag I can right now and go out with a bang. I don't know, maybe. Still a stupid decision in my opinion. Let's see. Okay, a federal agent who spoke on condition of anonymity because he was not authorized to speak publicly on the matter. The agent declined to explain why Chavez was not arrested earlier in Mexico, despite going back and forth between the two countries multiple times. Now that's very interesting, because I was like, wait, why is he's charged all the way in 2023 and it's still going on. I assumed he didn't go back to Mexico, but that didn't make sense because it's like if he didn't go since 2023, then he definitely overstayed his visa. But he's been going back and forth and they didn't arrest the guy. But if you know anything about the cartel and the Mexican government and the authorities, bro, shit is really corrupt, man. A lot of people over there, and most countries, you know, they're corrupt, but they're on the extreme end. A lot of Mexican authorities get paid by the cartel. They take hush money, all that shit. So not too surprised, honestly speaking. In Mexico, mixed feelings followed the arrest. In Mexico, word of U.S. agents arresting a well-known athlete prompted mixed feelings. Martin Sandoval Penizola, a newspaper seller in Mexico City, said he believes President Donald Trump wanted to make him an example. Hey, it's not a far-fetched claim. It's a legit example, though. The fuck? He overstayed his visa, which, you know, I don't think that's prompts for being arrested, you know, but it is the law. It is the law. If you overstay your visa, you gotta get out of here. Martin Sandoval Penizola, oh, I already read that. This is what he said. I think that the U.S. government, in this case, Trump, is up to something, he said, adding that it was to attract media attention. Oscar Tanita, a Mexico City storekeeper, said he wasn't surprised given the boxer's troubles. I think it was predictable because he has had a lifetime of drug abuse, he said. Despite widely being criticized for his intermittent dedication to the sport, Chavez still rose to his heights. He won the WBC middleweight title in 2011 and defended it 3 times. Chavez shared the ring with generational greats like Canelo Alvarez, Sergio Martinez, of course, losing to both. Chavez claims to be clean for the Paul fight. He looked in his best shape in years while preparing for the match. Chavez said in an interview with Los Angeles Times ahead of his fight with Paul that he and his trainers were shaken by the immigration arrests. There are a lot of good people, and you're giving the community an example of violence, Chavez said. After everything that's happened, I wouldn't want to be deported. And I think that's it. Let me see if I can find the video.
Meanwhile, former world boxing champion Julio César Chávez Jr. arrested by ICE just days after headlining a fight against Jake Paul at the Honda Center.
Fox 11 exclusively obtained this video of the arrest in Studio City. Agents say he's accused of having ties to the Sinaloa cartel. Fox 11 spoke with a friend who says this is being blown out of proportion.
Mexican boxer Julio César Chávez Jr. arrested in Studio City by federal agents. Mexican boxer Julio César Chávez Jr. arrested in Studio City by federal agents. Fox 11 News has exclusively obtained federal body camera footage showing Chávez Jr.'s arrest Wednesday morning. Homeland Security officials say they determined back on June 27th that he had overstayed his visa and was in the country illegally. But despite that, he wasn't taken into custody until after his fight with Jake Paul on June 29th.
This is all a big shock, not anything that anyone expected.
Boxing reporter Ellie Sekbak, who runs ES News, has been friends with Chávez Jr. for 15 years.
Unbelievable, unreal. They're putting chains on him like he's a...
He even submitted a personal impact statement to help support Chávez's application for a specialized visa.
He's a great dad. He loves his wife. He loves his kids. He's the type of person that if I do a video about a coach that his kid has cancer, he will call me 6 a.m. Hey, my lawyer is going to send you money for the kid. We're going to take care of the expenses.
But Homeland Security tells a very different story. Officials say Chávez Jr. is wanted in Mexico on serious charges linked to organized crime, accused of trafficking firearms, ammunition, and explosives. They also allege he has ties to the Sinaloa cartel.
There's always more to the story. The headline doesn't always reflect the content.
They're saying he's got a connection to the cartel.
I think they're making a mistake here. I think the mountain will lead to a molehill, as they say, because I know him and I've known him. He's not a street kid. He's not a gangster. He's not a person It's not in his character, any of this.
I mean, his record and the things he's been convicted of doesn't say that. It says quite the opposite, but I guess.
Ali acknowledges that Chavez Jr. struggled with substance abuse in the past, but says the famed boxer has been clean for nearly 2 years.
He's a boxer. He's an athlete. He's not, as they try to describe him here, as this criminal mastermind. I do believe that in the end of the day, when the dust is settled, that he will be totally vindicated.
Good luck to him, right? I don't know about that vindication, but yeah, crazy ass story, man. You know, has been going back and forth. First of all, it is incredibly weird that he's having a case with Mexico and they haven't arrested him for years now, and they let him go back and forth because the case in Mexico is extreme. It's worse than what he's being charged of here. But then, of course, I guess he got comfortable just getting away with shit. You know, like if you've been doing all this and they're not arresting you, like, bro, they're probably not gonna arrest you at any point. I guess he got super comfortable, but